Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists of the pointless things. Why are we flying by a pointless statue in Booty Bay? Because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 is the wall art located in a couple places, one of which is the Tomb of the Watchers in the Badlands, the outside of the Uldaman dungeon, and at the dig site at Loch Modan. And this wall art is so weird because it doesn't even feel like it belongs in World of Warcraft. Like, you look at this and it feels like an old ancient Roman or Greek wall art. Like, they're all wearing, I think, togas, and they're just standing around talking to each other somewhere. And then in this other piece of wall art, you can see these two people sitting down talking to each other, and there's some animals sitting around, and it definitely looks a bit more high definition and modernized, probably because it was added after classic World of Warcraft, so that would make sense. And I know a lot of the stuff around here ties into the Titans, so I was like, how does all this tie into the Titans, right? Some like random Greek stuff. And when I looked it up, I found some posts on Reddit that said pretty much that Blizzard decided to go with an ancient Greek theme to denote the fact that this is a very old place, and then they kind of just went with it after a while. And so if you want, you could just go into Uldaman and walk around, because there's a whole bunch of stuff like this. I just picked these specific ones because they were kind of the ones that inspired me to start this pointless top 10. I remember questing around here being like, that wall art looks really weird. And then I was like, I should do a pointless top 10 wall art. And so here we are, and that's why it's number 10. 9. Number 9 is the wall art of this ship sailing across water located in a broken lighthouse in Vol'dun. And I really just love the way they created this art. Like, all the little water waves are these little hook things, and then you've got the sun up in the top left, and you have the actual ship with these three little, I think they're troll people on it. If you zoom in, you can kind of see it's like troll faces on it, although it actually looks more like Koopa faces, you know what I mean? Like Mario Koopas. It reminds me more of that. So I kind of don't know if these are even trolls, but it looks cool. And I don't actually know what you would call this wall art. Let me know down in the comments section below if you know what it's called. I think it's mosaics because it looks like it's made out of mosaics, and there's a lot of mosaics on the outside of a lot of the buildings here in Vol'dun, so I would imagine that's what it is, but let me know. And so yeah, I remember finding this when I did Pointless Top 10 Lighthouses, and then I obviously had to come back to it because I just think it's really cool, so that's why the Vol'dun Lighthouse artwork is number 9. 8. Number 8 is the wall art on the Goblin Huts located in Gadgetzin, Everlook, and pretty much anywhere else that you're gonna find Goblin Huts. And the coolest part to me is the archways that go over the doors. So you can see the wall art looks like it has a little archway. So every time you go into a building, it's like you're walking under an archway. It's really cool. And it even looks like the arch has some symbols on it. Like, you can see there's a couple symbols up there, and then it's got a bunch of weird patterns and designs. And then on top of that, you actually have a bunch of zigzaggy patterns all over the tops of the huts and all over the walls. It's just, I think it's really cool. It's something that I didn't even really notice until one day I was just walking down to the neutral auction house, and I was like, yo, that's really cool wall art they got up there. But I didn't realize that they actually put the little archway over the doorways of the huts. And I was like, yo, that's actually pretty sick. I never noticed that. And so it's always fun when you find something that you don't really notice. Also, special shout out to the penguin wallpaper in a lot of the goblin buildings. I know this isn't wallpaper, but maybe one day we'll do Pointless Top 10 wallpaper. It's still like kind of wall art, so I thought I'd throw it in, but either way, that's why it's number 8. 7. Number 7 are these weird orc goblin children that are located on the wood of the barn in Westfall. I don't even know if these are actual orc goblin children. They might just be small orc goblins that are very old. Like, I have no idea. It's just what I think of when I see them, but it's kind of weird that this is located in Westfall. This might just be another thing that back in the day Blizzard was like, this would be fun art to put in classic World of Warcraft, and they just like plastered it all over a barn. Like, I have no idea. It kind of gives me old mythology fairy tale vibes, you know what I mean? Or I guess more like folklore, right? Almost like an Eastern European folklore. That's the vibe that I'm getting here, right? On an old barn. Like, I have no idea, because otherwise I'm like, is this an orc, a goblin, some random monster? I haven't seen anything like this in World of Warcraft, so I don't know where they're getting this image from, so they must have just created it, right? But no matter the origin, I think it's pretty cool, and so that's why it's number 7. 6. Number 6 is the wall art located at the Temple of the Red Crane, which is located in the south central Krasarong Wilds. And this is actually the home of Chi-Ji, the Red Crane, and it's one of 4 creatures known as the August Celestials who watch over Pandaria. But I picked this because I love the wall art here. There's so many intricate designs. Like, sometimes I don't even know what's going on, but I'm like, I feel like there's something happening here that I just can't process. It looks like when it's like one of those Rorschachs, right? When they show you like, what do you see here? And somebody sees like an alien, somebody sees like something else, right? Like everybody looks at this and sees something different. That's what it reminds me of, and I think it's really cool. But I love that there's a lot of vine artwork as well, especially these little grates. These aren't really like on the wall, but I just thought they look cool because they're like a grate that's, I guess, embedded into the wall. And there are parts of the wall art that do have little crane heads, or there's wings, or there's just a whole bunch of little crane things hidden throughout the wall and the architecture here. So it's really cool. And that's why I decided to put it at number 6. 5. Number 5 is the wall art located at Dazar Allure in Zandalar. And the style of this wall art is actually very similar to the ship Vol'dun wall art that we saw earlier, which makes sense because obviously, you know, they're pretty close together. But it's, I love this wall art. I love that there's like a troll riding on a dinosaur. You have another troll that looks like he's shooting an arrow while riding on a dinosaur. And then you have this pterodax that's just kind of flying, and you can even see the similar waves. They kind of reuse the wave assets to be, I don't know if those are supposed to be waves or maybe clouds or something like that, but you know, you get the picture. And then there's also this one I found in a different area of Dazar Lore where there's this big Brutosaur, and it looks like there's a troll riding on the Brutosaur. It's just, I love this style of wall art. Like, I think it's really cool. I'm sure there's plenty that I missed all over Dazar Lore or maybe some other zones, so I kind of want to just go back and look for more of it, but I think it's great, and so that's why I decided to put it at number 5. 4. Number 4 is this massive wall art located all over a bunch of buildings in Mist of Pandaria, and I believe this is Lei Shen. From looking into it, it appears that he would make the most sense to be on all these murals. He is the Thunder King, if you're wondering. He's from the raid, Throne of Thunder. And he was the first emperor of the Mogu, so that would make sense. And I feel like if you played Mist of Pandaria at all, you would not have missed this wall art. It is on multiple walls. There's big versions of it, little versions of it, different sizes. Like, this wall art is all over the place, but for good reason, because it's actually really cool. Like, I love the cloud art. I love that the green glowy kind of lightning energies coming off of his hands, and all the buildings are gold. In fact, if you look at it in the dark, it looks like his hands and the stars are glowing, which is also really cool. There's also this big mural on another wall that doesn't have as much color, but it still has a lot of the greenish kind of aqua glow to it, and it looks like it's on a farm with the hills, maybe in the Jade Forest or something, which also looks cool. So some really great wall art all over Pandaria, but especially these, and that's why they're number 4. 3. Number 3 is the Emperor's Omen Wall, located in the Jade Forest. And it was actually once inlaid with jade, but over time it has fallen into ruin. And so now with the help of Lorewalker Cho, you aid him in restoring the wall and learning of its wisdom. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like the wall before you restore it. Like, you get little glimpses of what it's gonna be restored to. You can see it, right? You see little hints and pieces of what's supposed to be there. But you have all these vines kind of hanging on the wall, and all this greenery and moss and shrubbery just covering everything. I just think it looks awesome. Like, I really like the way it looks prior to that, but then you actually see the art revealed on the walls. You play through the story, and, you know, obviously it looks great. I think it all looks really cool. You got the panda just sitting there meditating in nature and peace and harmony in the waterfall. And then you got the war breaking out between the pandas. And then you have the Shah of anger, or, you know, Shah of something rising up to cause chaos. But yeah, overall, this is a really great wall, whether it's before the art gets revealed or after. And I just think it's great. I also think it's a cool quest to have it get revealed along, you know, playing with the story and questing and all that stuff. So that's why I decided to put it at number 3. 2. Number 2 is this wall art located in the Magister's Terrace in the Burning Crusade. And I'm pretty sure this is Kil'jaeden. That would make a lot of sense. You know, I doubt they would put Satan into the game, but obviously we just talked about things like Greek mythology and random folklore and stuff being the game, so it wouldn't surprise me, but it's definitely Kil'jaeden. But obviously it seems like it's very inspired by things like hell, right? You have all these people that are just burning in these flames, and they're like, get me out of here, and they're all kind of begging to him. I don't think they're worshiping him. I think they're trying to like beg him to escape the fire and the torture that they're going through, and he's just kind of looking down at him like, I imagine he's laughing like that, right? That's how all the evil villains laugh, like, well, similar to that. Although I will say, all the people in this image look very similar. It's not like there's Tauren and orcs and humans and trolls or everything. It's just they all kind of look the same. I have no idea. If you know anything about this, just post it in the comment section below. Somebody will be like, this is the ancient race of the Titan children or something. I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section if you know, but this picture is really cool. This is an awesome mural, and that's why it's number 1. And number 1 is probably some of the best wall art I think I've seen in the entirety of World of Warcraft. This giant mural is amazing. Like this big tentacle monster. I don't know if it's an old god. I think it is, but it's just sitting atop this temple or all these stairs, and then you've got his army standing at the base of the stairs. There's like squid people and tentacle monsters and bugs and like I think dragon or spider people. Like there's a whole bunch of soldiers, and this is actually located in the City of Threads dungeon. And so when you get to the final boss here, the fight happens in front of this big piece of wall art, and it is an unbelievable thing to witness. Like, I remember the first time I saw this, I was like blown away. I was like, this looks amazing. And the cool thing is this might actually be a hint to something that we don't even know about yet. And so maybe in the future, we'll look back and be like, oh, this is blah, 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 right? But for now, it's just really cool. And I love when they do stuff like this and they tie art into it as well. So that's why I decided to put it at number 1. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. If you want more top 10s, you go check out temples. Since I did talk about the Temple of the Red Crane, I did a whole top 10 on temples you go watch. Or you go check out Pointless Top 10, Pointless Top 10s, the second version. Also consider liking the video and supporting the channel on patreon.com/wowcrendor or by becoming a channel member. Okay? Okay. See ya.